From patience to lifetime value. In business, there is a concept called customer lifetime value, the total revenue a single person generates across the entire span of their relationship with a company. In modern healthcare, we rarely speak this language out loud, but structurally, this is exactly how many chronic diseases now function, not as conditions to resolve, but as relationships to manage indefinitely. Dialysis is not an episode. Diabetes is not a phase. Chronic pain is not a temporary interruption. Cancer survivorship is not a finish line. These increasingly function less like discrete events and more like ongoing subscriptions. The architecture of the invisible subscription. Every subscription model shares three features: regular engagement, recurring payment, and long-term dependency. Modern chronic care quietly meets all three, from scheduled dialysis, endless medication refills, routine surveillance imaging, lifelong follow-ups, recurrent procedures, to perpetual rehabilitation cycles. No one calls this a subscription, but functionally, that is exactly what it is. And unlike entertainment subscriptions, opting out is framed as dangerous. When managing replaces resolving. Modern medicine is exceptional at management, controlling numbers, stabilizing physiology, suppressing symptoms, monitoring risk, or slowing deterioration. But management and resolution are not the same achievement. Management asks, how do we keep this under control? Resolution asks, why did this system become unstable in the first place? What sustained the threat? What would restore confidence rather than surveillance? Management scales. Resolution requires relationship, so the system naturally drifts toward what scales. The chronic disease gold zones. Certain conditions are economically ideal for a subscription model. Dialysis, predictable, non-optional, lifelong, one of the most stable revenue streams in all of medicine. Diabetes, permanent pharmacology, endless monitoring, feeds cardiology, nephrology, ophthalmology, wound care, and rehab. Chronic pain, high imaging utilization, recurrent procedures, long arc medication use, endless cycles of flare and fix. It has no clean exit ramp, which makes it economically perfect. Cancer survivorship, surveillance for years, chronic side effects, fear-driven utilization. Even after quote-unquote cure, economic tethering continues. None of these require bad intent. They only require stable recurrence. The quiet goal shift. Over decades, the goal quietly shifted from how do we eliminate this condition to how do we manage this indefinitely at scale. That single shift transformed training, language, billing, pathways of care, and definitions of success. Success became stability, not restoration. Pain as the perfect subscription condition. From a regenerative lens, chronic pain is an unresolved protection, a learned threat, a nervous system that never fully relearned safety, a story reinforced by fear, language, and meaning. From an economic lens, chronic pain is endless visits, endless scans, endless procedures, endless prescriptions, endless rehabilitation. Pain does not need to resolve to remain profitable. It only needs to persist, and persistence can last a lifetime. The no-exit problem. True exits from the subscription economy are rare. Durable metabolic reversal, nervous system recalibration, restored movement confidence, deep safety learning, durable agency. These outcomes are biologically real, but they require time, trust, education, relationship, and reduced medical dependency. Those are not easy to bill for in a volume-driven system, so the exits remain narrow. The psychological lock-in. Payment is not the only thing that recurs. Identity recurs too. Once someone becomes a diabetic, a chronic pain patient, a cancer survivor, a dialysis patient, their future is narrated in management language. Not you are becoming well, but you will now be monitored forever. Safety becomes outsourced. Agency slowly erodes. Surveillance replaces trust, and the subscription renews itself psychologically. At first, the relationship is with a clinician. Over time, it becomes a relationship with the system itself. And once relationship is absorbed into management, resolution quietly disappears from the imaginable future. This is not about villains. No insurer wakes up wanting people to suffer. No clinician enters medicine to build dependency. No administrator plots chronicity in a boardroom. This system runs on incentives, not intentions. Subscriptions persist because they are predictable, scalable, financially stable, politically defensible, and emotionally framed as necessary care, which makes them extraordinarily hard to dismantle. The question we avoid asking. At some point, we must ask, are we extending life or are we extending dependence on care? Those are not the same achievement. A system can improve statistics while quietly shrinking human agency at the same time. Once illness becomes a lifetime subscription, something deeper begins to shift. Not just how the system sees the patient, but how the patient begins to see themselves. That is where sick care becomes most durable. Because a subscription is easiest to maintain when identity does the renewing for you.